This is your sign to heal the father wound. This father wound topic, it's very emotional to me because my father passed away and all that. Now every man carries a wound, and that wound, it creates this question that haunts every man until today. And it goes something like, do I have what it takes? Do I have what it takes to become a man? Do I have what it takes to conquer the world, to rescue the beauty, to live in an adventurous life, to fight the battles? Do I belong in this world? Do I belong in this place of do I belong amongst the humans and women? Can I bless people? Can I protect my family? Can I become the man that I'm supposed to be? Will I ever find that? The only person that can answer that question is someone that is masculine, someone that has a masculine figure, and that is your father. Your father is a source of masculine energy, the source where father figures, the source where masculinity is bestowed. We receive masculine energy, we receive masculinity from our father. Now, if our father fails, or misguided us, or lacks to answer the question of, do I have what it takes? Then the child and we are going to find a question elsewhere in places that we're not supposed to go to. My father passed away 1.5 years ago, if you don't know already from my recent videos. He passed away due to autoimmune disease, which created acute kidney in his body. It was the cause something to do with COVID, but I'm not going to dive deep into that in this video. After he passed away, I was lost. I was lost in the dust. I was lost in the desert, trying to pretend to be a man, because my motivation is to make my dad proud. And that is when everything goes to chaos. When I pretend to be a man, I engage in inappropriate things with my partner during that time. I try things that spike up the feeling of being a man, but actually not. And then recently I also broke up with my ex because I am that sort of person that tries to win the girl, tries to win the princess, tries to win the woman, and not knowing what to do with it. Right? And it's like in every hero story, when the hero saved the day and he won the girl, he won the woman, what does he do with it? The story ends at happily ever after. It doesn't end elsewhere. It doesn't show, oh, the next day the king or the prince cooks food for the princess. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say there, right? In every novel, in every book, it doesn't say that the king or the princess knows. No, sorry, it doesn't say that the king or the prince does something to the princess afterwards. It just stays there and nothing happens. I chased external validation to a lot of places, to achievements, to especially women, and I get my feminine initiation from there. That feminine initiation is very, very important. More on that story, I believe that when we have absence of father figure, we are hungry for that fatherly love, right? We don't have a father. Or perhaps things can go something like your father abandons you, or your father mistreated you as a child, or your father divorced with your mom, so your father needed to leave the house. And then, therefore, hence, you're not able to spend time with your father because your father's out of the house all the time, or your father's always at work, not becoming a father that he's supposed to be at home taking care of you. Hold on. Put on some music. Your father can have all these archetypes that can affect you in a way. Yep, your father misguided you, mistreated you in a way that you react to it, and you guys have like this like silent treatment with each other. You're scared of your father because your father is very critical, or your father inflicts violence on you. The worst thing can happen is that your father can, well, this is sad, but a lot of fathers can rape their children. That happens in the world. Fathers can do a lot of things that are dangerous to their children, sons, daughters. We have to keep in mind of that. We have to know how our fathers affect us and how that shapes us in our day-to-day life today. Now, one thing I want to talk about is that the father wound, whatever it is, if your father abandoned you, misguided you, mistreated you in a way, their son is hungry for this two essential thing. This is two essential needs that every son has. Number one is love. Number two is validation. Now, love is pretty obvious, right? If your father doesn't give you love, if your father doesn't say, I love you, son, I'm proud of you, you are my son, I am the apple of my dad's eye. Or is it the other way around? I am the apple of my son's. Yeah, something like that. You get what I mean, right? I am the apple of my dad's eye. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are my son. You are my best son. You are the best. You're beautiful. I love you. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. I always love you. And if a child doesn't get that love, doesn't get that everyday saying of I love you, then the son will have an incomplete heart. The son of the father, the son and the father is a very, very powerful relationship in the universe, in everything, right? If you look at a father and a son, that masculine like aura that we get from that is beautiful. And if a father does not say I love you to the son, oh my god, that hurts the son very, very incredibly, very much. The second one is validation. Do I have what it takes? That's the question that every man brings, right, to life. That's the question that every man is haunted by when every man carries a wound. Do I have what it takes? And if the father does not speak to him, speak life to him, and say, yes, my son, you have what it takes. You have what it takes to become a man. You have what I'm proud of you. Right? I love you. I love it. Right? If we combine both now, love and validation, I love it when you did this before. I'm proud of you that you got an A in this math test. I'm proud of you that you climbed up that tree, right? I'm proud that you are able to fight the bullies, right? You're able to defend yourself from the bullies. I'm so proud of you for that. And if a boy doesn't get that, a lot of things can happen. Picture Iron Man, right? If you think of Iron Man, if you know the movie, I'm a fan of Marvel. I mean, you can see this Avenger hat right here. This is the hat that my dad gave me, and so I used it here before he passed away. If you know Iron Man, if you know the movie Endgame, right? You remember when, that was so emotional. If you know the movie Iron Man in Endgame, Iron Man, Tony Stark, at the end of the movie, he snaps his finger. He snaps his finger using the Thanos gauntlet, right? To wash away, to strip away all the enemies there, right? He snaps his finger and he says to himself, I am Iron Man. And that moment is the moment where he knows his identity, where he knows that he has what it takes to defeat all the enemies, to defeat all the villains, to defeat Thanos. Because he knows that he has what it takes to do it, to fight, to battle, even though it cost him his life, right? But he knows that he has what it takes. He knows in his mind, in his heart, that he's a warrior, and he knows that he can defeat the villains. And that identity, right? That identity is spoken, hopefully, by his father, right? If you can search up yourself the backgrounds of Iron Man, Tony Stark, and his father, and how things were like. But he proved himself at that moment that he has what it takes. So he took a huge leap of faith to snap the finger with his own body and die at that moment, sacrificed himself for the rest of the heroes. If you just picture that in your mind, it made my heart alive. It raises my heart knowing that he has what it takes, that he has the love that he has for himself, right? If I'm not wrong, his father actually loved him so much. If I'm not wrong, I'm gonna reread again. I might be wrong. You can read it yourself again. If not, then we're gonna just stick to that analogy of you have what it takes. No, Iron Man, Tony Stark. If you link it back to the question of, do I have what it takes to live a life? Do I have what it takes to be a man? Love and validation is received by the father. Now, if the father says to the son, yes, son, you have what it takes, then the son can live a life without needing to prove his own worth by chasing external validation. Same like Iron Man, same like Tony Stark. When he snaps the gauntlet that he's using, he knows that he has what it takes. He has that fire in him, that anger that is used in a mature way. If he doesn't know that he knows that he has what it takes, if he doesn't feel that identity that he has what it takes in him, that true identity of himself, he would not risk his life for it, because he knows himself. He's the leader. He has what it takes, right? He knows that God is with him in this one. That's love and validation. If you don't get that, every boy will be horribly wounded in life. Fortunately, my father, I actually received that love and validation from him. And I felt it, but a lot of stories are different. My father, he was a good father. Although he had some mistakes, he showed me that he affirmed me and he delighted in me. But the unfortunate thing is that he passed away when I was younger. He passed away too early, so he couldn't be able to, I couldn't receive more masculine energy from him and receive more lessons and knowledge and wisdom from a father. That's the wound that I get. That's the wound that I received. For a lot of people, for you, your father might abandon you, your father might misguided you, actually might be passive as well. Like your father didn't initiate you into the life, into being a man that you're supposed to be. That can also happen. Not all wounds, not all traumas is connected, or not all traumas are associated with the negative moments or negative scenes. Trauma can be what happened, right? But it can also be what should have happened but didn't happen. That's something like me. My father should have lived with me for more years to come, but he passed away early. And that's the story of every wounded man that God has put fate on. Now, there are impacts in our psyche, in our soul, if the child doesn't receive these two essential needs, which are the love and validation. A child, a boy, or a man can go through his life, years of living without these two needs, and he will chase validation, right? Because we want validation, we want love. And if we don't get it from our biological father, we will chase it elsewhere. One of the places that we chase it to is externally, of course, right? We can't chase it internally because we don't have that spoken identity from the biological father, or we lost our father early, so our father couldn't speak identity to us for a longer period of time. An example of this would be you chase it in women, you chase it in achievements, you try to win the woman in order for you, or you try to you try to win over the woman in order for you to feel like a man, in order for you to play the role of a man by winning the woman, because that's the validation that you got from. Maybe you're good looking, so you can go to that place of getting validated by a woman by winning the woman, or flirting with the woman in a way that it arouses you as well, so you feel like the man. Perhaps you're a very athletic person, so you go into the sports area and then you thrive and you achieve a lot of achievements there. Perhaps you're good at music, so you try to chase your validation. You try to get validated by going to the music industry, and you do get validated by that. But if you're gonna keep on chasing, you're still gonna be wounded there. You haven't consciously bring that wound into the light. You will keep on endlessly chasing validation from places that you're not supposed to, because you don't know your true identity. Continuing on that, men are the image of God. God created men for strength, right? If we want to find strength, when we are trying to find strength, right? And then we cannot express our strength to the world, to people, then we have that fear of exposure. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you this. If we look at two different movies, right? Let's say Simpson, right? You see the father, the idiotic father Simpson type, like, and you see a hero, right? You compare these two movies, Simpson and Superman, let's say. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be Simpson or do you want to be Superman, right? Do you want to be characters in Simpson or Superman? Of course you want to be the hero, right? You want to be Superman, right? You don't want to be seen as that weak little person. You don't want to be seen as you don't want to be broken. You don't want to be seen as that person that is broken. You don't want to be seen as that idiotic person. You want to be seen as the hero, of course, right? We want to be heroes. And if we don't get that love and validation from our father, then when we try to be a hero, we can't. Because, let's say, practically, our partner is demanding a lot from us, right? I mean, that's fine. We're trying to play to be a man, and our partner is demanding a lot from us. Now, our desire is actually to be a hero, but because we don't get love and validation, how can we give love and validation? How can we bless and give love and secure and become secure in that relationship with the partner that is demanding us? That's why one of the impact is actually being angry, being all of a sudden being like rude and mean to the person, to our partner, right? To the woman that we're with, because the woman that we're with is demanding that masculine energy from us. And if we can give it, we will be angry because our partner is demanding us of it. Our heart wants to be a hero. It doesn't want to be an idiot. It wants to be a hero for the person, for our partner, for the family. Again, if we can't give it, we will be angry at ourselves. That's why we have to resolve this boy in us, that boy within us. We have to mature it. We have to father it. If we don't, then we will just be this man that just lash out and be angry, be mean all the time. Because we can't fulfill the demands of being a man. Another thing that I want to talk about is why do these men, why can't we deal with the father wound? Why can't we admit that we have a father wound? Now you understand about the brokenness and the weak and all that. Just continuing on that, because it's actually connected. We're not able to connect and to admit that we have a father wound and to actually work on the father wound is because we have fear of exposure. We don't want to be exposed nakedly, right? We don't want to be seen as a weak person. We don't want to go and we don't want to be seen weak. A lot of these men, we fear exposure, we fear failure. We don't want to be seen weak. Right? We don't want this thing to be with us. Because if we do, then other people will look at us in a different way, because society doesn't allow us to actually be open. We don't want to be so close to weakness. or else we will be exposed. They will see our true identity. That's why a lot of these men can admit it. Now the next point is that men are having a hard time being men. They have anxiety, depression, addiction, and all this. The reason for this is because they mishandled their woundedness. They need to acknowledge their father wound, and they mishandled it. And so you have to clearly know to yourself that you have this father wound, or else you will mishandle it. You will medicate instead of feeling it, and that wound will like define you if you're unconscious of it. So you have to start being conscious of that by knowing and acknowledging your father wound and letting God invite God into your father wound. If you want to know more about the father wound and knowing how to heal, link in the description down below, and I will show you how to heal it. And I will show you how to be conscious of that father wound and become the hero that you're supposed to today, and not break and resolve this generational curse that you have on your children's, on your wives, on your family. Because I truly want you to understand that you want to be a father, a great father that you will put into your child, and your children are conscious and are healed. Your wife are healed. You want to have a family that is healed and conscious and aware. Okay? Link in the description below. That was emotional, and I hope your heart raises as well. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.